After looking at your homeworks and your notes in some cases, I determined that we didn't exactly understand what was going on with the Pascal's Triangle is one option. The other option is that we copied from photomath. So if I'm copying from photomath, what I can actually do is I can, as you probably know by now, I can scan a problem and it will tell me how to solve it. And so let's do it. I can scan this problem. And when I do, let's scan this x plus 4 to the fourth with my photomath or my Snapchat. And when I do that, it gives me all this lovely information. And it says to expand it into x plus 4 to the 2 plus 2, which is x plus 4 squared times x plus 4 squared. And then we're doing all that and collecting our like terms. However, I specifically said on your homework to use Pascal's Triangle, none of which is this garbage. So, those of you who did this got 0 points. You'd be better off to come to class, pay attention, and learn Pascal's Triangle. So, with that in mind, let's actually go ahead and do Pascal's Triangle instead of, that's all right, instead of using photomath, because it doesn't work. Photomath will give you the correct answer, sure, but it doesn't use Pascal's Triangle at all. So if I'm using Pascal's Triangle, then what I need to do is I need to figure out what my coefficients are. How can I figure out what my coefficients are? I look at my table. So if I'm looking at something to the third power, now there's a good chance that you've only seen these symbols in movies or on fraternities or frat houses, whatever. But these are Greek symbols. And the reason I'm putting them in here, thank you. The reason that I'm putting the Greek symbols in there is because it's just to prove the point that we don't need to know anything about what those Greek symbols are. Most of you have probably only seen them on maybe a frat house or something like that, but you don't know what they are. So the whole point of this is that as soon as I see that it's something raised to the third power, then I know my expansion is going to look like this. Whatever's in the front is the A. Whatever's in the back is the B. My coefficients are going to be 1, 3, 3, 1. So there's only going to be 4 terms. I start with the first term to the highest power, and I have my coefficients. I just write them in. My first term goes to the highest power. Delta, or triangle, to the third. Then it's plus. Now, it's already been to the third, so it goes down. Triangle to the second. You'll notice that there was no horseshoe or omega here, and that's because that was omega to the 0 power. So we don't even need to write it. because that's just a 1. Now, this one went down, so omega goes up. It's now to the first power. Then it's plus 3. Triangle drops. My first term drops another exponent. It's now to the first power. Omega goes up another one. It's to the second power. And plus 1, omega to the third power. It goes up one more, and triangle goes down one more. Since triangle is at 1 and it goes down to 0, it disappears. This is my final answer. It's an ugly box, but it's my final answer. Questions? If I look at my next one, it's x plus 4 to the 4th. Now it gets a little more confusing because I have numbers in there. So, this is my A now, and this is my B. So it's just x to the 4th with no 4 behind it. Plus, now I'm writing out my coefficients. 1, this coefficient is 4 for the next term, and plus 6 times something, then plus 4 times something, then plus 1 times something. All of those numbers just came from right here. 1, 4, 6, 4, 1. So now I did x to the 4th. Now I need to lower that by 1 power, x to the 3rd. Over here, I didn't have a b at all, or a 4 at all. So now I'm adding it in. It's 4 to the 1st. Keep dropping your x's, and you can go the whole way back and drop them. And then this would be x to the 0, so you don't need it. And then fill in your 4's. This is 4 to the 1st. It goes up to 4 squared. This is 4 squared, so it goes up to 4 to the 3rd. The last one has to be to the same exponent as our first thing was, so it's got to be to the 4th. Now I'm just simplifying. 1x to the 4th is just x to the 4th. 4 times 4 is 16, x to the 3rd. 4 squared is 16. 16 times 6 is 96, x squared. 4 to the 3rd is 64. 64 times 4 is 256. And then 1 times 4 to the 4th is just 256. That's it. If I ask you to use Pascal's Triangle on the quiz tomorrow, which I will, and I don't see this, I'm giving you 0 points. You must use Pascal's Triangle. Any questions on this one? Yeah. All of your coefficients come from here. That's where my 1, 4, 6, 4, and 1 come from. And then I just start with the highest exponent for the front one and lower it each term. X to the 4th, x to the 3rd, x to the 2nd, x to the 1st, x to the 0, it's gone. Then I take the second number and it goes backwards. It's starting at 0 and then it goes up to 1, 2, 3, and 4. You're done. Or you could just copy it directly from here And since you're obviously at home, you can use your notes. There's nothing I can do to stop that. Not that I even would. In class, I would probably give you this table anyways. All right, let's do 3x plus 5 to the fifth. It's to the fifth power, which tells me it's this row. 1, 5, 10, 10, 5, 1. So I'm going to leave some room in between each one. Now, it's 3x in the front. So this becomes 3x to the fifth. And then it's 3x to the fourth. And you can fill them out this way. 3x to the third, 3x to the second, just 3x, and then no 3x at all. Then we take our 5, no 5 in the first term. 5 starts with the second one, because it's 5 to the 0 up here. Now it's 5 to the first, 5 to the second. We can put our plus signs in. 5 to the third, 5 to the fourth. You can see I'm getting pretty smushed here. And then 5 to the fifth. Now here is where it gets harder, because I have to do 3 to the fifth power. 3 to the fourth is 81. 81 times 3 is 243. X to the fifth. Then it's 3 to the fourth, which is 81, times 5 times 5. It's 81 times 25. So that's 2025 x to the fourth. For the next one, 3 to the third is 27. 5 to the second is 25. So this is 27 times 25, which is 675, times 10, which is 6,750 x to the third. Next one is 3 squared. That's 9. 5 to the third is 125. So it's 125 times 9 times 10. That's 11,250 x to the second. Next one is going to be 5 to the fifth, because it's 5 times 5 to the fourth, which is 3125 times 3. That's 9,375 x to the first power. And then our last one is just 5 to the fifth. That's it. So a lot of calculator work in here and making sure you multiply it all out, but it's really not that hard. In general, I try to simplify it or just look at my numbers first before I even worry about the x to the fourth. All right, we're going to do one more to practice. And it's this one. It's going to be a monster because we have to the fifth power again. And then we have 7x and 3y. So that means that I'm using the fifth one again, which is 1, 5, 10, 10, 5, 1. This is going to be 7x to the 5th power and no 3y plus 7x to the 4th and 3y to the 1st plus 10 times 7x to the 3rd, 3y to the 3rd, sorry, to the 2nd. It was 3y to the 1st, now it's to the 2nd, plus, and this is 10, 7x drops down to the 2nd power, 3y goes up to the 3rd, plus 7x to the 1st, and 3y to the 4th, plus 1 times 3y to the 5th. All right, now we just start simplifying. 7 to the 5th gives me 16,807. And then that's x to the 5th. Now, I have to make sure I do the 7 to the 4th first, then times 3 times 5, or just times 15. That gives me 36,015 x to the 4th y. Make sure your y comes after the x. Do alphabetical order. Then this is 10 times 7 to the 3rd times 3 to the 2nd. We know 3 to the 2nd is 9, so let's simplify that now. So it's 10 times 7 to the 3rd times 9. That's 30,870. X to the 3rd, y to the 2nd. Jump to the next one. 7 squared is 49. 3 to the 3rd is 27. So it's 49 times 27 times 10. That's 13,230. X squared, y to the 3rd. Next one, we do 3 to the 4th, which is 81 times 7 times 5. 2,835. X, y to the 4th. And then the last one, you just do 3 to the 5th, which is 243, y to the 5th. Any questions? All right, well, if you don't have any questions, then I would study 3.1 and 3.2 for your test tomorrow, or your quiz tomorrow, I mean. It will be due on Thursday. There will be no live class because you have your quiz. So I will be available if you have some question, like not pertaining to the actual math, but that's about it. All right.